Along with the return of a must-watch murder mystery series is a Dracula-centric horror flick, another action movie from a wonderful action star, the final season of a show that has been money for Showtime, and everyone's favorite animated Spidey swinging in right into your living room on this week's What to Watch.
My show is hanging on by a thread here.
Finding this killer is the only way you'll have a show. Want to make a podcast with me?
Oh my God, this is corny.
I know it is. Murder?
Yeah, murder. Yeah.
Right in the elevator up to the premiere of its third season is Only Murders in the Building. Before we look ahead to what's coming, it's worth noting that seasons 1 and 2 are both coming in certified fresh with tomato meter scores of 100% and 98% respectively. And hey, my insider knowledge tells me, by clicking on the show page, that season 3 is also certified fresh. So that's the first reason to get buzzed into this one. The second is that this time around, the building referred to in the title is now a theater instead of apartments, as this season's murder will revolve around what happened to a theater performer played by the one and only Paul Rudd. And speaking of buildings, guess who's entering this season? Meryl, as in Streep. She joins the already iconic cast that includes Selena Gomez and the other guys whose names are there. Martin? Just kidding. It's Martin Short and Steve Martin, of course.
Something ripped apart the animals.
All the livestock?
This looks like a bite.
Search the ship. Everywhere. Evil is on board.
But if you liked your murders a little more terrifying, hitting theaters is the horror flick, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. The first reason to embark on this one is that it's an adaptation of The Captain's Log, which is a chapter from Bram Stoker's 1897 novel, Little Women. I mean Dracula. Sorry, I got my notes mixed up. And that chapter we mentioned is the second reason to see this one, as it follows a ship and her crew heading from Carpathia to London, encountering not only a tough ocean voyage, but a presence that's also stalking them aboard the boat. What, like bad seafood? Oh, maybe that means Dracula. Reason 3 is the sneaky good cast taking us on this voyage, which includes Corey Hawkins, aka Dr. Dre, along with David Dastmalchian, who is always creepy scary, and I mean that in a nice way, plus Liam Cunningham, who played Davos Seaworth on Game of Thrones. Miss ya, Davi.
Free my mind of limitation.
How many in the welcome party?
6 of them. Finesse the majors, that's my form of reparations. They said you can't slide, you're a treasure to the nation.
Arriving on Netflix this week is the new Gal Gadot action movie, Heart of Stone. Yep, our Gal is back, and she's joined by Jamie Dornan, which is enough star power to constitute reason number 1 to remember your Netflix password. Gadot plays an intelligence operative who is trying to protect a valuable and dangerous asset on behalf of a global peacekeeping organization, which is just a wordy way of saying she kicks major ass, which we know she's really good at, and we're excited to see again. That's reason number 2 to see Heart of Stone. The third is that director Tom Harper comes in with a pretty impressive resume that includes the certified fresh The Aeronauts, the BBC series War and Peace, and some episodes of Cillian Murphy's awesome show, Peaky Blinders. Say less, the guy is good.
Everything you do now matters in a way it didn't before. Chuck Rhodes is paying attention.
We're not waiting to pounce. We're gonna tell you what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna do it.
And cashing in for its 7th season is the Showtime series Billions. The first reason to invest in this show is that not only is this the 7th season, but it will be the last for what has become Showtime's longest running drama. Which brings us to the second reason to tune into Billions. The previous 6 seasons are all fresh on the tomato meter, with 4 of them certified fresh, while it has carried a strong audience score of 70% along the way too. A strong portfolio, as they say in the big money business, I would assume. Reason 3 is that one of the show's original stars, Damian Lewis, is back. He left after season 5 and Corey Stoll took over as the villain, or other hero depending how you watch it, but he has returned to help bring the show to the finish line. You can bank on it.
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
And finally, landing in the universe of VOD is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The animated flick has been a monster hit this year, coming in certified fresh at 95% on the tomato meter and banking more than its predecessor at the global box office with over $683 million. Dang, sling it, Spidey. If you need another reason to finally see this one, or see it again and again, it's worth noting that there is a third installment, Beyond the Spider-Verse, on the way. Eventually. Not to mention a female-focused spin-off about Spider-Woman, so there's plenty to be invested in. And finally, if you did catch this one in theaters, what did you miss? I mean, this is animation and there are multiple Spider-People and Spider-Verses to soak in. You had to have missed a few things, right? Boom. Reason 3. You're welcome. That's how we do! Slinging 5 picks to help you sort through all the murders in your building, figuratively speaking, of course, I hope. Be sure to let us and your fellow viewers know in the comments what you did check out, whether it was on this list or not. Remember to check out RottenTomatoes.com for the latest updates on scores and reviews for everything mentioned, as well as the movie and TV world at large. That's all for today, Fresh Family. Until next week, stay fresh.